day. The first day I even started selling, I counted $1,000. No, there's no way I have $1,000. Counted again. You know, like at the time, this is a lot of money. I'm kind of like broke and, you know, don't have much money. And I counted again in front of him. Like, yeah, it's $1,000. Like, what the hell? Like, I made this so quick. Like, I should have done this a long time ago. You know, that $1,000 turns into $3,000 a day, $5,000 a day, $7,000 a day sometimes. I have these like 2 weapons next to my, you know, on the nightstand. I cock them back. I'm thinking I'm being robbed, so I go to the back door. And whoever comes through, I'm going to end like right then and there. No, it's the cops. The cops are here. It's like, oh crap. They come in, tackle me. They take her. They handcuff us both. They took us both in. They found like a bunch of ice there. They found some H there. Second time, it's the DA, the ATF, marshals, 2 SWAT teams, the city police, the state police. And, you know, that was it. That was a wrap.
FBI, open up! The FBI swarming a Miami house and taking a man into custody in the area of Southwest.
So say goodnight to the bad guy.
The agency says the 28-year-old was picked up after the grand jury indicted him and 5 others.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Honor Among Thieves with your host, Nelson Rodriguez Jr., as always, coming back with another great episode with a special guest all the way from Utah. I've been looking forward to this guest. He has a great story. I've been following his content for a while. He makes great prison content on TikTok. Thomas Sanchez, a.k.a. Kidnapped by the Feds. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up? Good to be here.
Good to have you, man. Definitely. You were like, man, I love it out here in Florida.
Hell yeah. It's great weather out here and just feels good.
It does, yeah.
Humid.
This is like 6-7 months out of the year, and then the other 4 or 5 months it's like low 80s. You know, it's year-round weather.
Yeah, it's nice, easy. You know, easy to drive.
Right.
Everything's great out here. Beach, warm water at the beach. I went out to California and the water is cold on the beach.
In the Pacific Ocean, it's cold.
Yeah,
huh?
cold.
Yeah.
I get in yesterday. I was like, "What the hell, man? This is warm. It's like a hot tub to me."
That's cool. You're originally from California?
No, I'm from Utah.
Utah, okay.
Yeah, small town, Price, Utah.
Cool.
Maybe like 20,000 people there. Population.
Okay. Yeah, man. I've followed. I forgot when I probably started following you like a year ago, and your content is great, man. The reason I like you is because you're not like. You come off really authentic, and it's hard to find that in our niche. A lot of people try to pretend to be something they're not. Like I'm not a hardcore gangster. I wasn't like a hardcore criminal. I'm just a guy who got into some shit he shouldn't have gotten into, and I'm always verbal about that. And what I like about you is on your page, you're just talking about your experiences and you're authentic. So I like that about you.
Yeah, when I was in prison, I actually started my social media, and I was following these bigger content creators, and it's like. No, man, like if you've been to prison, you've been around the streets and you know that these dudes ain't genuine.
Right.
I think the majority of people that watch us are those that don't go to prison.
Yeah.
And so then like you realize, oh yeah, this dude is he's not telling the truth.
Right.
Like why you guys, and then they glorify it. It ain't genuine. You sit there and act like you're the toughest dude.
Yeah.
You obviously are fake, completely fake, because you do not act like that when you're in prison. You don't act like it in the streets because everyone is going to go against you and you are not going to beat everybody. Like it's fake and not genuine. So I just started doing social media just to, you know, put the truth out there.
I like that, man. And I also like your message of, like these hardcore gangster guys try to make that, like glorify all that. And like your message is kind of like, you talk about your experience, but it's more like a cautionary tale. Like,
yeah, you know, there's nothing to glorify with any of it. Like, and then, you know what it is? Like a lot of these hardcore dudes, they say they're hardcore, and they're broken inside. They're dysfunctional. They really don't have confidence. They don't want to get out of their comfort zone. Like they're not strong mentally. They're not strong emotionally. If they were, like they would get out of their comfort zone. They do something worthwhile, stay out of prison, but you know they don't because it's what they're comfortable with. It's what they're used to, and they're too weak mentally, emotionally to come up out and do something positive and worthwhile.
I agree. Yeah, the prison system is an interesting thing. It's like the world is very interested in all of us now for some reason. I guess it's because it's kind of like an occult world that they're never going to be able to experience, and like the underworld is always something people find interesting. But
yeah, to me, I think it's they don't. The majority of people will never go to prison, ever. And so it's interesting to them. Like they're curious about it because they'll never go.
Right.
Like a lot of us, we think outside the box. We try something different that they're too scared to do that, a lot of people wish they would do.
Right.
And so they kind of find it interesting, I think, how we did everything and how it is in there. It's new to them.
For sure. My personal experience, like I was a normal dude that just got caught up in some bullshit. So when I went to prison and I saw how, I was an outsider going in there, and I can relate because when I was there and I was hearing all these stories and meeting all these people, it was like, whoa, this is wild, it's crazy. And it's almost like most people don't even believe your stories because of how crazy it is,
Well, and another reason why people don't believe your stories is because TV and the movies, they act like prison is something. They show, and all prisons ain't like that. Maybe some might be a little bit like that, or some may be very close to it. But the majority of prison, especially federal prison, it's not like anyone would ever think. It ain't what people would believe because they've never seen it. There's no movies about low security, minimum security, medium security. It's all the hardcore USP, high security level 4 prisons. So, and that ain't the majority of prison. That's where all the hardcore badasses go. And man, it ain't like that. The majority is not like that. Even like the USP, high security federal, that's only 12% of the prison population. That's, where it's life and death situation every day. The rest ain't nothing like that.
Right.
And so it's ridiculous. And, you talk to people online or whatever. I was in the USPs. No, you weren't. I did, I put in work, and no, you didn't. Some of them, did, but the majority don't. The majority were at a yard with chomos, feds. Low security is chomos. Every prison ain't no PC. There's no PC protective custody in low security. So if you don't have a huge criminal history, you're going to be on a yard in a prison with a bunch of chomos. And then what people think.
Most definitely. So, brother, let's start at the beginning. So you said you're originally from Utah?
Yeah, so I'm from Utah, small little town, Price, Utah, maybe 20,000 population, white America, ain't, no gangs, not a lot of criminal activity, small little town. And, the majority of people out there are Mormon, white. I never grew up around, substance abuse, pretty chill. My parents were good. My dad's from Peru. My mom's white. They met at, I think, BYU University. They somehow became Mormon, and they tried to grow us up religious. Me and my brothers and sister. I actually have a little, kind of a big family. There's 9 kids.
Wow.
8 boys, 1 girl. It's 4 boys, 1 girl, 4 boys. And, we pretty much had everything we needed. We had everything we needed growing up. They did, the best they could. So, I've never been introduced to the crime life or, any of that stuff. So it was kind of different. The only knowledge I had is, of the streets or that sort of culture was, on TV, movies, the rap music that I listened to. So I don't know nothing about it. And, I really wasn't in trouble for the most part growing up. I started hanging out with some older kids when I was, junior high, middle school, and I did get into trouble. Me and my couple of my friends, when we were younger, we went into we had this other dude that hung out with us, and he wasn't like us. He was kind of like, we thought he was nerdy and, kind of soft. And one day we went into his house when he was gone. So we had a school event where we're supposed to take all these classes at the college, and it's all walking distance from our school, the college, and our friend's house. He was at the event. His mom was a teacher. She was at the event. So me and my other 2 friends were like, you know what? The hell with this dude. Let's go in there and take everything. We it's dumb. We're dumb kids. We take his Xbox, N64, whatever it was, PlayStation at the time, all of his games, CDs and everything. And for some reason we became the suspects, and the cops came, tried to talk to us. And, from a very early age, I had some criminal thinking going on because I remember that they're like, they're thinking that I'm going to turn and I'm going to, get tell on all of us. But I'm the one that came up with the plan. I said, look, We're on foot. They don't know the story. Like, they don't know, all they know is whatever we tell them. It's like, let's tell them that, we're at school. We did this, and when we went to his home and stole everything, let's just leave that out because they don't know how long it takes to get from here to there. We're on foot. So we'll just leave that out and be confident. I'm telling my other 2 friends, be confident, look them in the eye, like you're telling the truth, like look up. And if the cop acts like you're lying to him, just look at him like he's dumb and say act like you're telling the truth. And, I don't know where that came from, but that's, how I was. And so my first friend, he goes in, tells them, sticks to the story. I go in, stick to the story. The cop says to me, he says, well, you know what? I talked to Joey. I talked to you. It sounds like you're telling the truth. So we're just going to talk last student, but I think you guys are good. So yeah, I'm I apologize to him. I said, yeah, sorry you guys have to deal with this. I'm sure you guys will find whoever did it. And stone cold, I'm telling the truth. I'm saying I'm telling the truth. So then our third friend goes in and he cries, he breaks down and he yeah, we did it. And we did this. Like, man, they call me on the phone. My one friend, he calls me on the phone. He says, yeah, so-and-so, he broke down. He said, we did it. Like, man, what an idiot. Like, how dumb. Like, why did he tell him? Like, we're almost off with it. It's like, he felt bad and he was scared. Like, man, what a loser, man. So we end up being on probation. We go to court, whatever, get put on probation for a year. And that was the first time I ever really got in trouble. But after that, I really didn't get in trouble much growing up. I was good now. I wanted to stay out of trouble. I think when I was 18, I had a fake ID. That's the only other time I got in trouble. I had a fake ID. I went to the gas station and I bought some alcohol with some fake money, with some counterfeit money, fake ID, counterfeit money. And I'm the only one that used a $50, whatever it was. So, they're trying to find out who I was. And they came in and arrested me one day. I'm hanging out with my friends in the parking lot, grocery store parking lot one night, just chilling. And the cops came, they got called about a fight between other people. So they came to the parking lot to look for the people that were fighting. The cop noticed me from the video. So he took me and arrested me. And, he wrote me up for having a fake ID. He said he'll come talk to me later about the counterfeit money. But what happened with that was I got it from my friend. He got it from his girlfriend's dad, and he ended up telling on all of them and everything. And so they dropped the charges on us. And they charged the dad, his girlfriend's dad, with it because, he rolled over on him. So, but apart from that, I never really been in trouble. I stayed out of trouble for such a long time, over a decade. I went on a Mormon mission. 'Cause my family's raised Mormon.
So, a couple of things before we get into that part of your story. So you had 9 brothers and sisters. I've never met anybody who has. Well, I mean, I have in the older generations. My grandmother is the first of 14 kids. So, but in our generation, I've never met anybody who had that many siblings. So, what was it like growing up in that house? It sounds like it could. It
was actually good. We all got along for the most part. We got along. Our parents were religious, and pretty much grew up in that Mormon religion. They're good people. They're all good people. Their whole religion is just to help others and preach them the gospel, and live a good life, helping others. So we had a good life for the most part.
Would you say being raised Mormon was part of the reason you kind of went the other way?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because they tell you no premarital sex, no drinking, no this or that, and
you're like, damn, this shit is boring.
yeah. For the most part,
right.
But just hearing it growing up my whole life. If you hear something at a young age, you believe it. You're going to believe it. Whatever you're being taught and you hear it so many times every Sunday, you are going to believe it. So I ended up going on a mission. I was in trouble, I was good until from 18 to 23, not in trouble at all. And I ended up going on a mission. I started hanging out with good people and, religious people. Went to Peru, Arequipa, southern Peru, and I was there for 2 years, thinking I'm serving the Lord, religious. But the way the mission is set up, you have this leader, and you got the mission president, and I don't think I've ever was into authority. Like I've never, I don't like being told what to do, how to think, how to act. And then when I see an authority figure making some dumb decisions, like why is that dude in charge? Why is that person in charge? Like it kind of leaves like just kind of turns me off to the whole thing. And
that's a common problem amongst all of us that go to prison.
Yeah.
Authority.
Yeah. So maybe really at the end of the day, I'm wrong, and maybe that was all right. But it's just like,
I think we're onto something and we're on the right path. We just apply it in the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
Because you shouldn't blindly follow people with authority.
Nope, not at all. Yeah, I've learned that for sure. Like, do not, just because they're, a pastor, a teacher, like, don't just believe everything they have to say, because a lot of them, aren't bad, evil people, especially in churches. Like, you got a lot of pedophiles, a bunch of chomos in churches. Like,
oh yeah.
So, when I just see, like, in the Mormon religion, they say that your bishop is inspired by God and just following the God, listening to the Spirit. All these leaders are being guided by God, and it's like, no. With some of these decisions you're making, no, that ain't true. Like, come on, I can't believe this. There's a lot of stuff they hide, and I know no one's perfect, but come on, like, what the Chomo was called by God, and he's not following. Like, there's no fucking way. There's no way, and like all the stuff they hide, that I was turned off by it. I don't like authority. I'm turned off by it.
Unfortunately, weak people, when they're attracted to power, and they abuse positions of power when they're given power. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Obviously, bad people crave power, right? That's when you know something's wrong with you. So, unfortunately, I mean, we've seen it in the prison system.
You got reps, shot callers. They abuse their power. You got judges. You got cops, the FBI, agents, the feds. Yeah. They abuse their power every day. And then, this is the thing with the feds. It isn't just a few of them are bad. The majority of federal agents are bad, evil people. They think that they're sent by God. They don't care about the truth. They care about convictions. They care about, putting you in prison, and they're going to prove that you are, even if you're not. So they're, they abuse their power.
Yeah, they think just because they're on the side of the law that they're just in whatever means they use to put people in prison, and it's
so
horrible.
wrong.
It's terrible.
It's such a lie, man. But that's who they are. And I think even them, they're brainwashed. They think that they're the good people. They I don't know. To me, I think that the feds, the federal cops, they are so I think it's millions of little decisions that they make, thoughts that they make in their head that makes them think that they're good people, and they're the good guys, and they justify the wrong things that they do, and they end up becoming these evil people.
Agreed. I couldn't agree more. There are probably good people that kind of want to do it the right way, but there's so many people who do things the wrong way in that system that it's impossible to. Yeah, it's just a broken system. Like from the judges to the prosecutors to the federal agents to the prison system, it's just one big, and it's crazy because you try to talk to people about this kind of stuff, and it goes back to what we said, right? It's unbelievable.
They think that we're lost.
Yeah, just some
you
bitter.
We see it, we live it, like we've seen it with our own eyes. We lived through it, and we know, but. They haven't, but they'll just believe what they were told, and they'll believe that they're the good guys, which I have no problem with law and authority. Like, I have no problem with law and order. I do have a problem with authority. Scratch that. I do have a problem with authority, but I have no problem with law and order. Some people, some dangerous, evil people that just hurt innocent people, they should be locked up for life.
Yeah, 100%.
The chomos deserve to be locked up for life. The violent criminals that just hurt innocent people, they should be locked up for life. But, the crooked cops, man, then like the whole system, how they just want to throw away the key on just whoever on whoever. Like, no, they're just as bad as anyone else.
For sure, I couldn't agree more. So let's tie that back into your story. So what was it about not liking authority and the mission? Let's get back to that.
I just stopped going to church, so I didn't like the authority.
You just started asking questions like, why is this way or that way? Okay.
Yep. And I stopped going to church. So then I started partying, going to clubs, bars, running through women, which is against, the Mormon church. come on, like it feels good. I love women. So why is this wrong? Like, why is this a sin if, it feels good? So, I just started living that life. And,
I mean, I can't blame you.
come on, like being raised up in a church where it says you can't do those things. And it's like, why is it wrong now? Like, it feels good. Like, I'm not a bad person because I'm doing these things. Like,
Right.
it feels good. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not going to church. Miss me with all that nonsense.
Were you always a fit dude?
Yeah, I've always done boxing, MMA my whole life.
Okay.
Yeah, I competed. Yeah, it was fun. Like, so I've always been fit. I've always been in shape. Like,
I remember you told me your brother's he's a bare knuckle fighter.
yeah, I have a brother that does bare knuckle.
That's cool,
I
man.
think he has a match coming up, a bare knuckle match coming up in a couple months. Next month, I believe. So
Dope.
November maybe. So I'll be out there, California.
Nice. So all right. So you kind of you stray away from the church, kind of like because you figured you start asking questions and it doesn't fit with your pattern of thinking and you want to be your own guy. You start falling down that path of kind of like doing whatever you want. So was this like your 20s?
Yes, 20. So I get back from the mission 25.
Okay.
I went late on the mission because usually it's earlier
When you're
on.
a teenager or something, right?
Yeah, they do it 18 now to 18 to 20. I think it used to be 21 to 23. I went from 23 to 25. And so I get out of the church to stop going. And that's where I meet my son's mother. Which maybe I think she meant to be a good person, but then she wasn't for a while. I think now she is a good person. I think she tries to be a good person, but I think she's a good person for the most part now. We're just different. I don't know. Maybe she is. Maybe she isn't.
Humans,
Yeah, we're different. So, like you got people that are totally different. Someone thinks the other is a bad guy, or maybe they both think they're bad guys.
Right.
Maybe they're both wrong. Maybe one's right and one's wrong. But I would think that I think that I'm right, she's wrong. No, it's. But so I end up, I get with her. We end up getting married. We have a kid. She doesn't have a big family. So she always wanted to have a big family. She always wanted to, be home and be able to take care of her kids during pregnancy and, be like a housewife. And she had 2 kids before me. But, this is the thing with people, like when things that they've always wanted their whole entire life, once they get it, then it's like, okay, what now? And then their goals change, what they want changes, and they end up wanting something else. So that's what happened with us is, I gave her everything she wanted, a house, truck. I made all the money. I went and worked in a coal mine, which I told myself I would never, ever work because it's a lifestyle. You're doing 14-hour days, 16-hour days. And
sounds like a hard life.
yeah, I have to be like, it's your life. It's your life. And you don't really have much time off. So it's like, she didn't like that. She ended up, after the kid, she starts partying with her friends, going back. We're in Colorado at this time. We're from Utah. She ends up going back to Utah on the weekends, partying with her friends. Who knows what she's doing, but she wasn't happy. And she like made up saying like, I was mean to her kids, which I never was. And, you know how things go. Like when you're about to break up, like people just tend to lie about the other and, they want you to be the bad guy, and even if they're the bad guy, it was such nonsense. So she told me something like, "Yeah, if you don't change by this date, then I'm leaving you." Change what? Like I'm not being mean. I'm not like. So come that date, she ends up leaving me, moves out. Goes and does her thing. So I was kind of like sad about it. I was sad about it. I tried to get with her for like a year. And she just, seemed like she was just using me for my money, stringing me along. And I ended up meeting these other, these other women. start hanging out with them and having fun. She somehow caught wind of it, whatever, and she tried getting back with me. It's like, I tried getting back with you for a year. I want to give you everything you want. Like, I wanted to be back with you. Now that I find someone else, you want to get back with me? Like, nah. And so what happened was, one day I'm at the car wash and I'm washing my car or whatever. And these two dudes come up on me and, they're like looking at me all weird and crazy. And like, they keep getting closer and closer. It's like, oh, these dudes want to fight me. So I ended up, did I punch the first dude and then I picked up the other one and I slammed him, or did I slam the dude first and then punch the other one? I think I punched the first dude. Then I picked up the other one, slammed him, and, it was over with. And I'm feeling all good, like all tough, whatever. And I feel all good. And I drive back home. I'm all happy. Like, yeah, I just, got these dudes and they try to jump me. And I'm at the table on like a little chair and all of a sudden my back spasms. I don't know, it was just a spasm, but it just hurt so bad. I couldn't even sit because it hurt so bad. I fall down and I can't even move. I have to call up the baby's mom and to come, crawling through, because I lock my doors. She had to crawl through the window, take me to the hospital. They told me, yeah, you're back spasmed. And, we don't know, like, were you doing any heavy lifting, whatever. So I'm thinking, like, did she send them to me? Or like how did this happen? Like, why did they just come randomly do it to me? So, and, this whole time she's like, yeah, get back with me. And she's like, I'll take care of you. Come to my house. I'll take care of you. And it's like, I don't know if she sent them. So I was like, you know what? No. She's like, it's now or never. She like sends me a picture of the wedding ring I bought her. It's like, I get out her truck that I bought her. It was like a Lincoln truck I bought her. I step out and she like looks at me like all mad and I slam the door. Like I go inside and
all right, guys, taking a quick break from Honor Among Thieves podcast to bring you a word from our sponsor, and that is Federal Prison Tips. At Federal Prison Tips, we help people navigate the justice system from indictment, re-entry, everywhere in between. Whether you're a loved one trying to get relief for someone that you love that is in federal prison, you are currently in federal prison, or about to go to federal prison, we can definitely help you. Everything from plea mitigation, sentencing mitigation, PRSAR challenges, anything about guidance while you're in prison, actually what to expect if you're a first timer and have never been there. Whether this is your second case, third case, you haven't quite learned your lesson yet. Either way, we can help you with everything that has to do with federal prison. Good time, FSA, second chance credits, getting designated to a facility. Any issues you might be having within the federal prison system, we can definitely help. Honor Among Thieves podcast. Mention that you saw us on the podcast and you'll get special rates only given to those who listen to the podcast. Again, 407-434-0175, extension 7. Hit us up, federalprisontips.com. Contact us. Let them know you heard about them through me. Now let's get back to the show. So that's pretty much how it ended?
With her, that's how it ended pretty much. So what happened was, now I hurt my back. I'm on, I can't go back to work. So I get like paid leave for, 6, 8 weeks, whatever it is, 6 to 8 weeks. So, I don't have to do no drug tests, nothing. Like I wasn't using before then, but, what I didn't know was these women I was hanging out with, they were using, and like I had no idea. Like they're using like crystal, they're using H, I think just crystal at the time. And
was that the first time you were exposed to like hardcore drugs?
Yeah, so this is the first time I was ever exposed. Like I'm there one night, and I remember I'm there one night, and I fall asleep on the couch or something, and they're like above me. And they're like, oh, do you think he cares? I hear them saying something like, do you think he cares? And they're like, I don't know, maybe does. Like, should we hide it? They're talking. And like, I look up and the one, she's holding like this pookie, like this glass to use the crystal
to smoke.
in. Yeah, to smoke the crystal in. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, nothing. We're just, doing a little bit of this. Like, what is that? They tell me it's crystal, it's ice. And, like someone's like, do you want to try some? And the other, like the girl I was with, she's like, no, don't offer it to him. And I was like, no, I was like, hell no, like I've never done this before. Like, what does it do to you? It gives you a bunch of energy, makes you feel good. And the one I was with, she's like, well, I'm not going to give it to him if he's never done it before, but here it is. If you want to pick it up and do it, that's on you. So I was like, well, I don't have any drug tests. I don't have to worry about losing my job. Maybe I'll try it, because I've heard nothing bad about it. I pick it up, I do a little bit, and like, I'm talking 1,000 miles an hour, and I feel so good. I'm thinking, man, like, why does this have such a bad rep? It ain't that bad. It feels good. And so, I basically do it for like 6 weeks straight.
Holy shit.
And yeah, like, I'm like, I'm working out all the time. I'm like feeling good, but then doing it for 6 weeks, I dropped down to like, I weigh probably 184 pounds before. At the end of 6 weeks, I'm weighing like 150.
You
all
lost
sucked
30
up.
pounds in 2 weeks?
Oh yeah, quick.
Shit.
Yeah, quick.
Wow.
And I don't know, me and the girlfriend I was with at the time, we kind of like had a falling out, and I was kind of like, she started hanging out with someone else, or dude that she was hanging out with started running his mouth about me. So, I seen them drive one day. I tried to catch him just because he's running his mouth. I'm gonna go beat him up. Put him in his place. I caught him. Someone said that they're at this one house this one time. And I had a bunch of weapons at the time. It's like, I got this 9, I got this 45, I got this pellet gun. Like, how far do I want to go with this? So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to scare him. I'm not going to, use the others, like the strong ones. Let's grab the pellet gun, just scare him a little bit. So I go in there, pull it out. I'm thinking like, I'm gonna shoot him. And then once I do, like, if he says anything, does anything, I'm gonna beat him give him the worst beating of his life. So I pull it out. I shoot him like in the stomach with it. He starts crying. It's like, oh, what the, like, that easy? He's crying now, like, over this. Like, I don't think it's that bad. But I just walk out and leave. But I'm kind of done with these people. Like, I'm done with all these people. Like, just kind of a bad experience using. So like, I really don't do it again. Like, these people are all a bunch of straight dirt bags. They're becoming worse and worse. And, her getting with this dude and him running his mouth, like me doing this, like, it ain't my thing. So I go over to the, and I'm all sucked up. I go to see my kid, at the baby's mama's house. And I knock on the door. She answers the door. She looks at me like, she's like, kind of like hit back. She's like, what happened to you? I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean what happened to me? It's like, you look kind of small. I was like, yeah, I've been doing a lot of cardio. Like, I'm trying to fight again, do boxing, whatever. And like, okay. I sit down. I'm like, hanging with my kid for a couple hours. And she's like, why'd you lose so much weight? I was like, yeah, I told you, I've been doing a lot of cardio. I can run 5 miles. I run 5 miles like nothing. I'm obviously lying. I'm obviously on something. She's like, okay, well, good luck with all that. I leave. Some chick calls me up later. She messages me. She's like, hey, I think you need to see what your baby's mom is saying about you. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's like, she's on, social media saying this, like, I'll send it to you. I was like, no, I don't even care. Like, I'm not with her. Don't want to be with her. She's probably just mad. She's probably jealous. I don't want nothing to do with her. She's like, no, she's like, I think you really need to see what she's saying about you. I was like, all right, whatever, send it over. Send me the screenshot. The screenshot, she makes a post about me. She says, my worst fear has finally come true. My baby daddy's on crystal, on ice. Like, oh no, like, no, man, all right, I got to change. I got to, put my weight back on, done with all this nonsense lifestyle and all these dirt bags. So, I go pick up some juice, some gear, get all juiced up again, looking all good and healthy and like real quick. Because, losing 30 pounds real quick, you're going to gain it back pretty quick, especially since I've been working out my whole life, whatever. So I get up to like 180, like real quick, like within like weeks. I remember seeing one of these that, the chick that messaged me. I see her at the, I don't know, gas station or, one of the grocery stores. And she's like, how come she's saying that you're using drugs? Like, look at me. Like, do I look like I'm on something? She's like, no, you obviously don't. I was like, yeah, she just wants attention. She's lying. Like, And I don't even care what she says. She's like, yeah, she is a liar. I was obviously using something. But, you know, like after that, I just stopped. I stopped using, had nothing to do with it. I started training again. I started doing boxing, MMA. I'm trying to compete. I'm living good.
Your life could have gone up down.
Oh yeah, I could have gone like. Luckily, I had the self-control and the smarts to just know that that it ain't for me.
Right.
And I didn't want nothing to do with any of it. I don't want nothing to do with any of those people. Nothing. Well, we had this one friend. He did MMA with us, and all of a sudden he just stopped going. He stopped going. So me and my friend, I have a friend that, he's fought for UFC. He's fought for PFL, and he did pro boxing. I told him, I was like, hey, let's go over to dude's house and let's get him away from all these people. We found out like he's using.
He's around those same people.
Yeah, he's using, and this is probably like 6-7 months later. He starts using, he starts selling, whatever. I didn't know that. I just knew he was hanging out with a bunch of dirt bags.
Right.
So like, yeah, let's go help him out and get him away from these people and get him back to the gym and start, training and fighting with us. So we go over there and, we're like, hey, what's up? Like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, nothing, just chilling, hanging out. And he has all these women over there, like good looking women that, they were at the beginning of their addiction. So they still look good. And,
right.
They didn't look like addicts at all. And he has all these women over there. And it's like, maybe, we try to help him. And, we're like, maybe we do need to party a little bit.
That backfired.
Yeah, so we started using for like a weekend or whatever it was,
man.
maybe 2 weekends. But the girlfriend that I had that left me for the other dude, whatever, like she was over there like stopping by or whatever. So we started talking, and her and her boyfriend like broke up, and they had their problems, and we kind of started hanging out again. But I don't know what happened. Like we started hanging out with this dude too, more. He's around more, and having fun. Like we're not using, but he comes trains with us a little bit, but he's still selling on this whatever on the side. And one day he got kicked out. Like he said, he got kicked out of his house. I don't know if rent was up or what happened, but he didn't have no place to go. So I was like, hey, come live in my basement. Like it's big enough. I got 7 rooms in the house. Like come live in the basement. I don't want no addicts around there, nothing. Like just, be cool, be chill. And if you do get caught with something, like still do what you want to do. But, if you want to go serve someone, take your motorcycle, like go meet them somewhere else. Cause I don't want no attention here. Like that ain't what this house is. So he does, and everything's going good. I'm hanging out with this ex-girlfriend, a little more. One night we're sitting there, and I end up getting laid off from my job. And so like I have no money. I can't pay my bills. I start selling Mary Jane. I started selling it, and I'm making decent off of it. And
this is before it was legal.
So it's legal medically.
Okay.
Well, it is now, but yeah, this is before it was legal medically.
Right, when you can actually make money.
Yeah. Oh no, you still can, because
right.
They charge so much. If you got a good connect, you can still make money where it's legal medically. But to me, none of it's worth it. But so I started selling the Mary Jane, and I have no money. I can't pay my bills. I start selling, and now it's like, okay, $1,000 a week. I can live off of that. And, we're training, fighting, everything. And this dude that we try to help out, now he's living in my house in the basement. He has, women over sometimes, but I'm there with the ex-girlfriend sleeping one day at like 2-3 in the morning. She wakes me up. She's like, do you hear that? I was like, hear what? She's like, sounds like someone's hurt downstairs. I'm like, okay, like it's probably Mark. Just wants attention. That's the dude that we try to help, try to save. He's living in my house. He's probably just Mark, just trying to get attention or something. She's like, all right. And we try to go back to sleep. My other friend, the one that's, the fighter, He comes like up to my door, knocks on. He's like, hey, he's like, Thomas, we got to take Mark to the hospital. I was like, why? What's wrong? He's like, he can't breathe. Like, he doesn't feel good. I was like, all right, take him to the hospital. If not, I was like, go down there to see if he's okay. If he's not, then I'll come down and, see what's up. He goes down there. He comes back up. He's like, knocks on the door. He's like, we really need to take him to the hospital. I'm like, all right, let me get ready. I'll take him to the hospital. I kind of like lay down for a second, like act like I'm not trying to get back to sleep. And I feel like something just looking at me. And like, I open my eyes, I turn over to the girlfriend I had at the time. She looks at me like, what's wrong with you? Like, go help this dude. I'm like, man, he just wants attention. Like, that's how he is. He just wants attention. It's like, you better do something. I was like, all right. I throw on my shorts. I walk downstairs. I walk down the stairs and there's this long hallway. And he's at the end of it. There's this open door. He's in the kitchen and he's on all fours. I'm like, are you okay? He's like, no, bro, I'm dead. Like, what? I'm thinking like, what a pussy. But I told my friend, the fighter, I was like, all right, I'm going to go outside, pull the car up next to the house. And when I do, like, just pick him up and throw him in the car in the back seat and we'll take him to the hospital. So I go out there, I'm kind of in a hurry, pull the car up next to the house. I start walking to the back door and all of a sudden, like my friend, the fighter, he has Mark in his arms and he's like, has a like worried look on his face and he's like running out. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is serious. He throws him in the back seat. I'm driving to the hospital, trying to get there, to save his life, maybe. And he's moaning the whole time. He's, trying to breathe. And all of a sudden, like we're like maybe 2-3 minutes from the hospital and there's no sound in the back. Like he stops moaning, stops making like, so it's like, oh, like I look back and my friend, he's like, don't worry, we're almost there. I'm like, all right. But I tell him, I say, look, I'm going to pull up to the emergency room. When I do, I'm going to go inside. I'm going to get the nurses, get a chair. When I bring the chair out, put him in the wheelchair. So he's like, all right, sounds like a plan. I pull up to the emergency room. I go in, get the nurses. I say, my friend needs help. I don't know what happened with him. And, I get them all. I get the chair. I go outside. And my friend is just standing there. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, put him in the chair. Like, that's what the plan was. He's like, I can't do this. What the hell? Open up the door. Our friend, he's eyes rolled back, not moving. He looks like he's dead. And I'm like, man, get out of here. I pick him up, put him in the wheelchair. They take him off. They say something like code blue or something. All the nurses start running, try to help him. So I tell my friend, I say, hey, look, let's give them our number or whatever. Let's, if they have any updates, they can call us if they have any questions. He's like, all right. I was like, yeah, but give them your number. give me your number. He's like, okay. So we go up to the desk. She's like, yeah, we have a few questions for you guys. Like, was he on anything? Was he using anything? My friend looks at me. I look at him and he looks back at her. He says, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was, like I said, he had pneumonia, didn't let his body heal. He was smoking through a vape, the H, the crystal, and he had an asthma attack. Mm-hmm. So that's what happened to him. And so luckily, we got him to the hospital in time. He was in a coma for 7 days. For 7 days. And I'm telling everyone like, yeah, like, I don't know if he's going to make it. I don't know if, what's going to happen to him.
Right.
Like he could wake up and have brain damage and not be the same person. I'm telling everyone this. 7 days later. Oh, and you know what happened? The whole time he's in this coma, his baby's mom is calling me, his family's calling me saying that they want to take all of his stuff, that it's our fault if anything happens to him. If he passes away, it's our fault. Like, how's it my fault? I told him like not to use. Like, I had no idea he was using with the vape. Not that, but I got him to the hospital. They're like, no, you're hiding. Like, you had stuff in the house and you're trying to, like, I had nothing in the house. I'm not hiding nothing. I got him there as quick as I could. They're like, well, we're going to take his stuff. Like, you guys ain't taking nothing. Wait, he's still alive. He's still good. If he does pass away, then call me. But if you try coming here, then you're going to have some problems. 7 days later, he wakes up miraculously. No brain damage, nothing.
Wow.
But, like with this whole experience, I'm thinking, like he can't handle this hard stuff. He can't handle none of this hard stuff. So, you know what? We had this friend, her name was Kelsey. She's like, you should start selling it. I'm like, I don't know, man. I can't stand these dirt bags using this stuff. She's like, you'll make a lot of money. And so I'm thinking like, you know what? All right, I'm gonna call someone up, see if I got to connect. So I did. And I was like, I'm going to start selling. Like, I didn't want to sell because I didn't want to step on his toes. He was selling that stuff. And he wakes up from his coma, take him out to breakfast. I tell him, like, look, I got me a connection now. I got better quality. I got way, way better price. Like, you can still sell, but I'm going to let you know, like, I'm going to start doing this. I'm thinking he might be a little mad because, that's his business. But, I didn't want to step on his toes or nothing, but he can't handle it. So he's like, you know what? All right, that sounds like a good idea. What I didn't know is he's told me, yeah, go ahead, because he didn't think I'd do it because I know nothing about how it, 8 balls, points, so like that. Like I had no idea about it. And
you would think him kind of having that would kind of push you away from it, but it did the opposite.
Yeah, it made me like, well, this friend that we knew, her name was Kelsey. Like she's like, yeah, you'll make money, and I wasn't. He would tell everyone that he was a big dealer and he made all this money, and he told me that he bought his motorcycle, like everything he has, because he sells, and he always has everything he needs. I'm thinking like, you know what? Yeah, like, he does have money, and I decided to start selling. What I didn't know is this friend Kelsey that we had, she's the one that was selling for him. She's the one that, knew all the people, and, she made a lot of money for him. But he always treated her bad. Like she was a piece of dirt, but he had a different girlfriend, but he had a thing with her, and like he was in love with her. But, he got mad that she started hanging out with me. Like, I don't know, he was in love with her. Like, I didn't know at the time, and that she was actually selling all of his stuff for him to make money. And I started hanging out with her, and he got mad and jealous, and he got so mad and jealous that he moved out. And, I started counting out one day in front of him, and it's like, I think it was like the first day I even started selling, I counted out $1,000. I'm like, no, there's no way I have $1,000. Counted again. Like, yeah, I think I have 1,000. He's like, no way, you got 1,000. And, like at the time, this is a lot of money. I'm like, I'm kind of like broke and, don't have much money. And I counted again in front of him. I was like, yeah, it's $1,000. Like, what the hell? Like, I made this so quick. Like, I should have done this a long time ago. And then he's like, I can see in his eyes, he's jealous that I made all this money because he's an addict.
So he used to use up all his product and not make
not make much money. And I'm making like, that $1,000 turns into $3,000 a day, $5,000 a day, $7,000 a day sometimes. Like, what the hell? And I remember, like, I'm waking up, someone comes to my house, drops off $5,000, and I'm counting it out. Like, I'm laughing, like, I can't believe how dumb, how stupid these people are. Like, I'm waking up to $5,000, and I got addicted to it. At first, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to just pay off my taxes, pay off my child support, save up $10,000 and be done. Because these are all a bunch of straight dirt bags. Well, I do it. Then I save up $10,000. Like, that's $10,000. That's like, I can do that in like a day or two, a couple days, or, a few days at the most. So that turns into, my goal is 20,000. I'm done. That turned into, maybe 25,000, then 50,000, then 100,000, then 150,000. Like, I couldn't stop.
I think everybody kind of tells themselves that when they first break the law.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was the same with me. I was like, oh, 10 grand. Oh, 15. No, 20. Before you know it.
Yeah, but during this time, it's like, I don't know, like he moved out. I had someone else move in. They moved out because they couldn't handle it. So I had someone else move in, and a bunch of cops started coming. Like, they started showing up across the street, down the street, up the street, dropping people off. And I have camera system, so I see everything that's going on. I see people getting out of the cop car, and they come over to my house like, okay, that's a controlled buy. Or I see someone's a cop car's behind someone driving up, and then the cop pulls over. They keep going to my house like, okay, this dude's trying to set me up. And so, I'm thinking, you know what, they're gonna come bust me. So I better hide everything. And we built this secret wall in my basement, magnetized, and there's no way you can open it. And I had everything in seal-proof containers. I put bleach on the outside so the dogs couldn't smell it. Then I spray bleach everywhere. So
sounds intricate.
Yeah, so they couldn't find anything. And finally they come and raided me. And this is like,
how'd they get the tip?
It takes them like 8 hours to, they're in my home forever trying to find it, and they couldn't till like 8 hours. Like, I think what happened was my girlfriend that I was with at the time, I think she told them where it was at.
Man, you don't know how many people I've met that have told their story on their podcast where it's always the girl, bro.
Always. But I didn't know that. I don't know if she did at that time, but it looks like that's what it was.
That what happened?
Not my discovery, nothing. So then, but this is the thing. All these controlled buys they had on me, so they had 12 controlled buys at my house, but in the discovery it says Mr. Sanchez was never at the home during these 12 controlled buys. Because I had a friend, he was a neighbor kid. I let him, he was like 20 or whatever. I let him move in my basement. All the controlled buys were on him.
But obviously he gave you up, and he said all the drugs.
He gave me up because I went on vacation one week or a weekend, whatever, to California. I came back. I had like a little bit of product, and I came, he was living there. I came back and it was gone. It was gone, and it was maybe a little bit of money, maybe a few $100s that I left there. And it's like, I call him like, where is it? Like, he didn't answer me. I was wondering like where it's at, like where's my product, where's a little bit of my money, and he didn't answer. His girlfriend didn't answer. They just avoided me, and they just kept avoiding me. It's like, okay, so he took this from me. And someone told me that they seen him at a restaurant one day, so I drove over to the restaurant. I didn't care. Like, I walked in, sat down at the table right in front of them, was like, hey, where's my stuff at? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, he's so scared and nervous. I'm like, he says that it's in his hotel room because this restaurant is next to a hotel. It's connected, kind of, whatever. It's right there. So we go over. He's like, yeah, let's go to my hotel room. I think it's in there. And he's like, oh, I forgot my hotel number. It's like, you forgot your hotel number? It's like, well, no, but it's not here anyways. Like, I just need my keys, so let's go to my house. So it's like, all right. I drive him to his house. He tells me, let's go to my house. So, okay, let's drive to your house. I'm waiting in the car. He goes in, doesn't come out, stays in the house, all like, locked doors, everything. It's like, oh, okay, that's how it is. Okay. And so I don't see him for like forever. Like, I'm looking for him, and, because, he steals my stuff. This, the Kelsey chick, whatever, that was helping me sell, like, we kind of had our falling out. She got mad because, she was living with me for a little bit, but I didn't want to be with her. Like, she messed around with people that I know. Like, I don't want to be with any woman. If I know that they met, like, anyone that they messed around with, I don't want nothing to do with them. Like, what's there to be proud of? Nothing. Like, who's going to get with someone that is ran through, especially by their friends? Nobody wants that. So, I got with this, the ex-girlfriend. I got with her. Kelsey moved out. She got mad. But, I still like talk with her, and, she'd still, come and buy from me or whatever. But, she was with this dude. She was like driving around. Like, I see them. I'm driving one night. She's driving around with this dude. I see, like, cause I'm stopping at a stoplight. They stop at the stop sign, whatever. And I start following them, and like, I chase them. I'm trying to find him to beat him up. And like, I think I hit a red light and they went, so then I lost them. She sends me a text message. She's like, hey, we're at so-and-so's house. Like, he's here. He's in my truck. Like, come over. Oh, okay. All right. So she sets him up. And so I go in there, like I pull up, I get out of my car. He's in her truck and he sees me. So he locks the doors. He's like, I'm sorry. Like, I'll pay you back. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to do this. Like, no. Open the door. I don't want to break the window. So Kelsey texts me. She's like, hey, come inside real quick. I go inside. She hands me the keys. And so I go out there. I unlock the door and somehow he fell out of the car. He hit his head or something. I don't know what happened. But, he's like crying and he's, I don't know, acting like I'm doing something to him. He's covering up and he's bleeding everywhere. And I walk out, I was like, hey, like, pay me my money or whatever. And I left. Gave her back her keys. Like, all right, I'm gone. I'll see you guys later. They're all right. We'll see you later. Like, all happy or like, whatever. And I think the other woman that was in the house, she's like, we told him. But so then what happened was that night, which I didn't know until after I got my paperwork, the cops were looking for him and they went into his hotel room. They found product. They found like money, and he told them that he was working for me. Like, this piece of like, he ain't working for me. He ain't working for me. Like, he never was working for me, but he told them that. And, he got a possession charge or whatever it was. And he tried to set me up. He tried to call me, apologize. And he tried to get me to admit on the phone that,
that it was yours and all that.
No. He tried to get me. Yeah. That was me that I was selling to him, that he's like, what the hell? You like, I'm not dumb. Like, I know what you're trying to do. And you actually can find him. He's a neighbor. He's on the news channel, like in one of the clips, saying that, oh yeah, he's everyone's scared of him, of Mr. Sanchez, and like he's saying all this like nonsense. And this whole time he's selling like other people's products, and he gets in trouble, so he tries to blame me for everything.
So he was actually selling for multiple people.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But he had all these controlled buys on him. He gets busted with product in the hotel room, and he says he got it from me, and that it's all my stuff. And he works out a deal where he's trying to set me up so that he has no charges.
Were you indicted at this point already, or that's what got you indicted?
No, I think. No, so then so this is what happened. So the Mark dude that, he was in the coma and everything, the cops went to his house, and, this is way before, this is right after he moved out, whatever, sometime in between. They had called his house for something. I don't know what, but he started telling the cops that I was selling. Because he was jealous and mad. So after this thing happened with the neighbor kid that, busted in the hotel. Also, what happened with Mark was we had our falling out. Me and Kelsey had our falling out, but I still kind of, we had our falling out, but Mark, what happened with him was, he was running his mouth so bad about me, and he's hating, and he's a little guy. He's like 150 pounds. I'm like 180. He's just acting like he's tough, and like he ain't that dude. Like, he's not the tough dude. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get back at him. Like, I'm gonna hit up his, like, I have a girlfriend this time, but I'm a dealer, so every dealer cheats. That's just what it is. If you're selling, if you're in the lifestyle, you're cheating on your girlfriend, your wife, whoever. That's what it is. Like, come on, ladies. Like, you got to admit it. But I'm thinking, I'm gonna get back at him. I'm gonna go get with his baby's mama. So I call up his baby's mama, and like, they're not together. He has a girlfriend, but I tell her to come over. We start hanging out. She's trying to sleep with me, whatever. And I'm like, maybe I could. She's good looking, but she wasn't, I wasn't feeling it. I could have, but I wasn't really feeling it. So I was like, you know what? We'd be worse than this. Like, let's call up his girlfriend and his baby's mom is friends with his girlfriend. I'm like, hey, call her over, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna all hang out, and we're gonna say we have to drop you off at so and so's house. While we drop you off, I'm gonna bring his girlfriend back to my house, and I'm gonna mess around with her, and make sure he finds out. I'm gonna take a picture and make sure he finds out. She's like, all right, yeah, let's do it. So she calls up the girlfriend. We call up the girlfriend. She decides to come hang out with us. And so we stuck to the plan. We dropped, the babe's mom off at so-and-so's house. I take the girlfriend back to my house, mess around with her. And, she's there in the corner putting her clothes on. I take a picture of her. And I send it to my friend. And then I delete it off my phone. She's like, did you just take a picture of me? I was like, why would I take a picture of you? She's like, let me see the last picture you took. I was like, all right, here we go. She's like, okay, you're telling the truth. I was like, what do you think I am? And so then I drop her off. I text my friend. I was like, hey, send that picture back to me. Sends it back to me, save it on my phone. And he was gone from his house. I knew he was gone. So I went to his house when all of his friends were there. And I'm like, hey, where's what's her name at? They're like, oh, she's gone. She went with, what's his name? I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, she's like, man, she's easy. They're like, what do you mean she's easy? I called her a different word, but they're like, what do you mean? Like, she's easy. Like, she came over, took me like minutes, and I messed around with her. They're like, no, you didn't. I was like, oh yeah, check this out. Look at this picture. They're like, oh, you really did. I was like, yeah, like I told you she's easy. I did that because I know that they would tell him.
Right.
And oh man, this is kind of messed up.
It's totally messed up, but hey.
hey, this is how I thought back then.
Of course.
This is my mentality. Like, I wanted revenge. Like, anyone ran their mouth. Anyone trying anything. Like, I wanted revenge. That's how I was. I wouldn't do it nowadays. I would just let it go. But this is how I was, when I was in that lifestyle. So he finds out, and he calls me. He's like, hey, did you mess around with her? Like, he's like, I don't care. Just, is it true? Like, yeah, it's true. Hell yeah. He's like, can I see the picture? I was like, no, I'm good. He's like, all right, well, thanks for letting me know. I was like, all right. And I know he's so mad, and like, yeah, like that's what you get for running your mouth. That's what I'm thinking. He got so mad, and like, this is what's messed. Like, he got so mad, so depressed. He starts using again, like hard, real hard. His body is still not healed from pneumonia. And he starts using with a vape again, starts using the H, starts using the ice, and has an asthma attack. And instead of having good people like me, like clean, sober people like me around, because the whole time I didn't use at all. So instead of having people like me and my other friend around that, take him to the hospital, we have nothing to hide, save his life. He had straight pieces of like trash, garbage around him. And they were hiding stuff. They didn't like call the cops. They didn't call the ambulance. They didn't drive him to the emergency room. They were scared. So he passed away.
Man.
And it's like, hey, like, isn't that like, what is it, poetic justice, karma? Like, yeah. Isn't that karma? Like, he says that me and my other friend, like, we let him, pass away or whatever, and he was in coma all because of us. We had stuff to hide, which was not true. 6 months later, same exact situation happens to him. And instead of having people like us, he had dirt bags, and he did pass away. It's like, learn your lesson. Like, man, get out of your addiction. But that's what happened with him. 2 weeks later, I think it was 2 weeks later, like somewhere like soon, the cops came and raided me. And I had no chance. Like, this is funny when they came and raided me though. I'm sleeping again. Girlfriend wakes me up. She's like, they're here. She's all scared. She's like crying. She's worried. And I don't know what's going on. Like, there's smoke. I hear stuff breaking. I go to the back door where like I hear this pounding. They're trying to break in, and I have these like two weapons next to my, on the nightstand. I cock them back. I'm thinking I'm being robbed. So I go to the back door. Whoever comes through, I'm going to end like right then and there. But she's like, no, it's the cops. The cops are here. It's like, oh crap. So I run back inside, like into my room. I put my weapons on the shelf and
dodge the bullet there.
Yeah,
literally.
she's like, what do we do? What do we do? I was like, just get on your knees, like put your hands on the back of your head and just, they're coming in. There's nothing we can do. She's all crying and they come in, tackle me. They take her, they handcuff us both. They took us both in. And, you know, that was it. That was a wrap. They found like a bunch of, you know, ice there. They found some H there. They found a bunch of weapons, which the weapons are legal. I'm in Utah. We all have weapons. We all hunt.
Right.
We all like go like target practicing and everything. So, but you know, they charged me with it. They tried to charge me with it, but it's a state case. But like I said, all those controlled buys, the 12, none of them were on me. They found product in my basement. I've had other people living there, so it could have been anybody's.
So this whole time it was a state case?
It was a state case. Yeah.
Up until now?
Yeah, it was a state case.
Okay.
They arrest me. It's a state case. I go pay a lawyer for myself, for my, you know, the girlfriend I had at the time. I had to spend $20,000 in bail, $10,000 for the bail, $10,000 collateral. And I spent all kinds of money on all kinds of different things, but I bail out and no one said nothing. They all kept their mouths closed because you know, like at the time, like I'm kind of beating people up and just, you know, having fun with it and just I'm rude and mean to everyone at the time. That's how it was back then.
So you built a reputation of like
and like I had, you know, groups of people that had my back that would do anything and anyone if I wanted them to, and no one said nothing. No one said nothing. And I bought a lawyer for me and my girlfriend out of the same firm. And they told me that, oh yeah, we'll never let her turn against you. We won't let her do that. It's like, okay, like, so I'm feeling good. Goes by like 6 months, and what I didn't know is this Kelsey chick, she caught a paraphernalia charge. She had a charge, but I had so many people, like, they come and try to, you know, do a controlled buy on me, and I'm not doing nothing. I'm really not doing nothing. But they keep, like, they didn't have any controlled buys on me, so, you know, the feds pick up my case. This is when the feds pick up my case. They need like a controlled buy. They need something so that the judge can sign a search warrant and they'd come raid me again. And so finally, like, I didn't know any of this. Kelsey, she calls me up one day, and also in my discoveries, it doesn't say Kelsey. It says CI number 462, whatever,
right, of
whatever.
Course. They don't want to reveal the source.
But it says CI. So she comes to my house. She keeps asking for stuff. So I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I think I know someone. I'm gonna go talk to him and then, you know, come over in like 30 minutes. So I go to the person, they hook me up, and then she comes over and excuse me, she asks questions about, like, she's trying to ask like questions like, oh, like, you still selling or this and that, and like, how much money you making? Like, man, I didn't know at the time, and it was a controlled buy. I seen the discovery that it says CI number 34692 goes over to Mr. Sanchez's house, in a gold car.
Right.
So that's how I know it was her, because there's only one person that had a gold car, and there's only one person that I hooked up.
Right.
After I was raided the first time. So of course it's her. So yeah, they had a controlled buy. They got me on audio. They followed her, you know, on the GPS to my house. She goes back to them, gives her the product, and the judge signs a search warrant. They come raid me like 2 weeks later. The feds come this time, because the first time it was just state police, you know, the sheriffs, county police. Second time it's the DA, the ATF, marshals, 2 SWAT teams, the city police, the state police, the sheriff, like everyone, like hundreds of cops come just to come take me down this little ass town. Like, why? Like, that was necessary to come with 2 SWAT teams and all these like armored vehicles and
that's part of
agents. Yeah, it's like,
you know,
yeah, to make me look worse. Yeah, because the pictures, oh yeah, that's something crazy is going on, and
right, it
just makes you look worse. So that was it. Like, I was locked up ever since.
Did you feel well? Obviously, you were in jail, but from the first raid to the second raid, did you know, like, all right, I'm in trouble? Like, this time it's...
I thought that I was going to be off because they really didn't have much on me. I didn't know it was a federal case. I had no idea it was a federal case. I would see, like, where I seen the cops, like, follow me everywhere after I was raided the first time. And I had a bunch of people that came and, like, tried to do controlled buys on me and, steal.
Right.
And so I knew they were coming, but I thought I would get off because they had no controlled buys on me. How can they prove it was me when there's several inmates or several people living with me?
Right.
Like, I thought I was going to get off. And my lawyer made it seem like I was going to get off. But what happened was the girlfriend I had at the time, she testified before the grand jury. She turned on me. They told her that she'd get every charge that I was going to get. She turned on me. And, she even said that I had this weapon, and she came with me to a buy, and I had a weapon in my glove box that she seen. But this is where she messed up because she said that in a car that I didn't even have for like at least 6-7 months. So that was an obvious lie. I didn't have that car. I sold it. So that, they dropped the 924C, the weapon charge.
Thank God.
Because that would have been another 5 years to my sentence. I'd still be in there now.
5-year minimum.
But like she went and like she told like everything she knew. She made stuff up. It's like, well, like what's wrong with people?
When they're put in that position, people are cowards.
Yeah.
So when you put them in a bad position, they'll do whatever it takes to save themselves.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And so start off as a conspiracy, and they try to involve all these people, but all these people that I was involved with. Every single one of them, they wrote statements, they're willing to testify because they told me, they said, Sanchez, he's going away for 15, 20 years, the rest of his life. Like, you'll never have to see him again. So they all started talking.
Right, of course. What different, in their minds, is like, what difference does it make? He's going away forever. So
Yeah, they didn't think I'd ever be out. And, luckily for them, I'm a different person. I'm better. Like, I don't want no revenge.
Right.
When I first went away, hell yeah, I wanted revenge. I had plans on getting rid of every single one of them, and I was going to do it. But I think, just being in prison...
gives you enough time to think.
Yeah, it gives you time to think. Like, do I want to go back? Do I want to go back?
Not worth it.
I also read, like, books, positive, like, self-help books, Think and Grow Rich, Power of Positive Thinking. Like, all these books that I read, just little by little, I just changed my perspective, changed, like, my mindset, and I became a better person. Just seeing, like, people, being with negative, hateful people in prison, they just... Like, I don't want to be 70 years old, like this dude in prison, hating 100%. Everyone, my family, like thinking everything is just like being so negative, bitter. I'm not going to be that dude.
So how long from the day you took your friend to the ER that he had that asthma attack to the day the feds took you down and you knew you were going to prison, how long was that?
Well, when I started selling, was 7 months.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, 7 months.
So that was only 7 months?
That was 7 months of selling H and the ice.
And then the feds kicked down your door?
So that was like July. That was July.
Okay.
They came and raided me. The state came and raided me in January.
Okay.
Then the feds came in June. Yeah, and I was pretty much done.
But then the feds came in June of that year?
The feds came in June. Yep.
So you really only sold drugs for 7 months?
Yep.
In those 7 months, how much money do you think you made? You wouldn't be able to. You don't even know.
I won't say, but I was up to making $25,000 a week.
Serious money.
Yeah, and a small town. Because it's strange. Like there's so many addicts all around America. Like small town making $25,000.
You're the first
$25,000 a week.
You're the first meth dealer I've ever had on. So I'm not aware of like how profitable it is.
So I was selling that, and I was selling the H.
Oh, okay.
But
gotcha.
The H is the money maker.
Oh, okay.
I'd buy like a zip for like $500, sell it for $1,700,
wow.
and easily 10 of those a week.
Wow, holy shit!
And the crystal, it's like I bought it for at the time I was buying it for like $4,000, selling it for $7,000 a pound. Which now it's like you get a pound for $600. if you know the right people.
Right.
But yeah, like, and luckily they only charged me with the crystal, because a conspiracy 2 or more people. How is it a conspiracy if I'm the only one being charged?
Right.
They all got off, no charges, nothing. All these dirt bags, all these scums, like they wrote statements, people that made up lies, people that told the truth, that were too scared to, take on their own charges. They all told on me, and no charges, nothing, no time, nothing, only me. But I do have a co-defendant, which I've never talked to a day in my life, never seen him, nothing. He got busted doing his own thing, but he told the cops that he got his stuff from me so that he would get less time. I haven't seen him a day in my life to this day. I've never seen him, message him, talk to him in any way, but he's my co-defendant. And I didn't know until after I was sentenced. I called my brother. I said, yeah, they gave me 10 years. He's like, yeah, I know. Like, what do you mean you know? He's like, there's an article that already shows that you got 10 years. And he's like, who's this dude? Who's this? I'm like, I don't know who that is. Well, it says he's your co-defendant. Co-defendant? I don't have no co-defendant, because my lawyer didn't tell me nothing. I was like, what does he look like? Bald, white dude, bald head. Like, I've never seen him a damn life. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, all right. Like, because he thinks that I'm lying. Like, I don't say nothing over the phone.
Right.
Like, no. Like, I've never seen him a day in my life. Like, I don't know who he is.
Wow.
Well, he got like 7 years, and it's like, man, later on reading the discovery, oh yeah, he told the cops that he got his product for me. It had nothing to do with me. And I got 10 years.
So you signed a plea for 10 years?
Yeah, I pled guilty to everything, 10 years.
Okay. And this is before FSA and all that, so you were
yeah. So I thought, well, this is the thing. When I pled guilty, like, I thought I was doing all 10 years, because I hear mandatory minimum. I thought mandatory minimum means I have to do all 10 years. But, with the 10 years, you get good time. Now you get FSA, RDAP for those that qualify. I didn't get no RDAP. That's so dumb. Like, I had the 924C, the weapon charge. They dismissed it because it was a lie.
But they still didn't let you take
RDAP.
RDAP.
They still didn't let me get RDAP because it's an element of the crime. I didn't get a year off because, but the beginning of my sentence, I could have done the RDAP. I could have gone through and, I had patience and everything. But towards the end of my sentence, I couldn't have done RDAP. I could not put up with people telling on me. And like, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I was ready to take off on people at the end of my sentence. Like, I started beating people up in prison. Like, I started just having like no patience.
Sounds backwards.
Yeah, backwards. Yeah, backwards. I did become a better person, but as far as like people in prison, like I lost patience with them. Like, I cannot stand dirtbags. I can't stand people that glorify the streets. I can't stand people that, want to be these hardcore tough guys. Like,
I get it.
Man, like, I try to stay humble. I try to stay like cool, chill, and but when someone's in your face, like,
you gotta do what
I'm throwing.
Yep. So you get 10 years, you get sentenced. Where do you get sent?
I get sent to Herlong, California.
What level?
Medium security prison.
So you start out with the big boys. Okay.
Yeah, 10 months. That yard, it goes back and forth. Sometimes they politic hard. It all depends on the warden. Like, medium securities, it all depends on the warden, depends on the inmates. How they do things. So it was, we're always in lockdown. There's always fights, locking the socks. People getting hit with a lock in the socks, stabbings a little bit. But I was only there for 10 months. No, a year. My case manager put me in for a transfer after, my GED was approved. So I dropped points. I was teaching GED classes. I was teaching English classes, Spanish classes. So she's like, you know what? You're doing a good job. Like, you're helping people get GEDs and helping them out. So I'm going to let you go to a low security. It's like, all right, let me go to low security. And I went to Lompoc.
Tell me a little bit about when you initially get there. Like, once you're in the yard and all that, like what?
So when you're in there, me, I'm mixed race. The whites are going to approach me. The Hispanics are going to approach me. They ask me if I'm a Sereno. They ask me if I'm a Paisa. They ask me if I'm a Wood. And you just choose whoever, you feel like being mixed race. You go with whatever, you go with whoever you're comfortable with. And like, I don't want to be on that gang time. I'm not, I got friends in the streets that are Serenos, Norteños, Crips, Bloods. Like, I'm not going to be part of some street organization in prison. Like, what are my friends outside going to think?
Right.
So, like, you know, I run with the Paisas. They're chill. They're relaxed.
So for the people that don't know, tell us a little bit about the Paisas. Who are they?
The Paisas are the Mexicans that aren't, you know, they know street gang. They're like, they come together as a union. They all back each other up. They help each other out so that the other organizations don't take advantage of them. Like, they have their own rules. They, you know, no one tells them what to do. They tell themselves. In federal prison, they run themselves. No one runs them, tells them what to do. They're on their own time. They do their own thing.
Do they have a shot caller like other other groups?
They have representatives.
Okay.
You know, each section, each unit, they have their own like rep.
How come usually they're only Mexican, but you're Peruvian? So how?
So I'm Peruvian. So the Paisas, they accept, like, you know, there's
Hispanic people.
Yeah, Hispanic people,
Okay.
Colombians, Puerto Ricans, and where I was at, they let, you know, Central Americans, South Americans,
Okay.
all Hispanic people, even like Mexican Americans, run with them. And yeah, they just back each other up. And they're usually the majority. Everywhere I've been, they've been the majority of the, you know, the population.
Yeah, on the West Coast, they're big.
Yeah.
On the East Coast, it's more like you got a lot of Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, so they have
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they have the Puerto Rican car, they have the Cuban car, they have the
Dominican car.
Yeah, Colombian car, all that. So it's, but when they come to the West Coast, they all run with the Paisas. Yep.
Mm. So on that yard, tell me a little more about. All right, so you ran with the Paisas. Who else was there? Like, what other groups?
Paisas, there's Sereno. Every yard that I've been on, it's been Serenos.
That run it?
No, that are
like
just,
the majority?
No, it's just you go to yards where there's Serenos or Norteños.
Right.
So every yard that I've been on, it's Serenos and not Norteños. And, you know, they're not, I think in Herlong, there's like a couple hundred. When I got the Lompoc, there's like maybe 100.
Does the BOP make sure not to put them on the same yard?
Yeah, they don't put them on the same yard. They don't put the Norteños and Serenos on the same yard. I've seen them mess up and put a Norteño on a Sereno
yard. Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't last long at all. Like, I seen one dude, he comes on, he has a 14 on his head, and the Serenos, he leaves with a broken ankle, a broken hand, blood everywhere. It's like, damn, they really don't like each other. And, yeah, that's how it is. And I'm sure if they got sent to a Norteño yard, same thing would happen to them.
Right, of course.
It's just like us Paisas. Like, we have enemies as well. Like,
who do the Paisas beef with?
Aztecas, Texas Syndicate.
Tango?
No.
Not really?
No. I heard in state that's how it is, but I don't know. In federal, like, I've seen the Tango Blast on the same yard with us, and, you know, they usually run with the Serenos, under the Serenos.
Okay. All right. So you spend that year in the medium.
Yeah, then, you know,
are you pretty good because you stay low key? And
yeah, I stay low key, and I end up going to Lompoc, California. It's a low security.
Okay.
And that was completely different, man. Like, from a medium security, like, now, you know, in low security, it's chomos, you got transgenders, you got, you know, snitches, people with good paperwork, bad paperwork. It ain't no PC, it's just low security.
So in the medium, I would assume chomos and rats check in.
Yeah, they check in. They can't be there.
So they're not on the yard.
Nope.
Versus in the low, really no one's checking paperwork, so you kind of open season and everybody's there.
Yep. And so it's completely different. If you haven't been in trouble, if you don't have a huge criminal history, you're going to low security.
Right.
It ain't no protective custody. It's just you haven't been in trouble, and don't have much time, so you're going to low security.
Right.
You know, where it's not as much politics. And, you know, unfortunately, there's hundreds of chomos at every low security. And hundreds of them. It's like, well, like, there's all these, like, there's this many chomos out in the world.
It's nuts.
And yeah, so it's different.
And a lot of I had friends. I did time at a camp, but I had a lot of friends that came down from Pens, mediums, lows, and they were from all over the country, and they would tell me like how a lot of in some yards, the guards kind of get it that these are disgusting people and you shouldn't protect them. And but there's other yards that actually protect them.
So when I was in Lompoc, California, the guards were on our side and let us get away with, beating them up, messing with them. When I got to Terminal Island, they weren't like that. The guards weren't on our side.
So it really just depends on the facility?
It depends on the facility and the guards, yeah. But, and this is the thing. If you do anything to them, they write you up, you lose good time.
Right, because they're the only ones that actually complain to the guards and all that kind of shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they can, if the Chomo decides to, press charges on you and give you 5 years to your sentence. So the Chomo can decide to press charges on you, a hate crime. And if you do anything to them, it's 5 years added to your sentence. So you do your time, and then you got to do another 5-year sentence.
All right, guys, taking a quick break from the podcast to talk to you about Gus Villa Jewelry. Yo, let's be real here for a second. If you're rocking plain jewelry in Miami, of all places, you are doing it 100% wrong, my boy. Step your game up with Gus Villa Jewelry, the plug for real Cuban link gold and silver chains. And of course, the cleanest Rolexes in all of Miami. This isn't factory made or watered down or any of that stuff. This is high quality, custom, handmade stuff that shines from here to the moon. It turns heads, starts conversations, and makes you look fresh. Gus has something that'll level up your whole vibe. And because you're locked in here with us at Honor Among Thieves Podcast, you're getting a hookup. Use the promo code Montana at checkout. Get 5% off your entire order. That's right, 5% off. Go check them out at GusVillaJewelry.com or pull up on them in the Diamond District down here in downtown Miami. GusVillaJewelry.com. Again, that's GusVillaJewelry.com. And tell them your boy Montana sent you. Gus Villa Jewelry. Now back to the podcast. All right, so when you get to Lompoc, obviously it's very different. Would you say since there was the politicking makes a difference in like people's behavior?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I've had several guys on here that come on and they're like, you know what it is, man? I mean, it's harder time at the medium, but like people respect each other more. Is that true?
Yeah, for sure. Because, when you're at a medium or, maybe a high security, it can be, it's a strict punishment. Like you're going to get beat up, stabbed. When you get down to low security, like it ain't these hardcore convicts.
Right.
That,
there's no consequences to anything.
Yeah, there ain't as much. There's consequences, like, because people do get beat up. It just ain't as like, you probably won't get stabbed at a low security. People do get stabbed, but it ain't like.
It's not like the
usually, when you disrespect, you get beaten up. That's usually like all it is, if even that, or a discipline. Like us in the Paisas, if you break a rule, if you bring attention or whatever, you have a 16-second discipline.
That means you get beat up for 16 seconds?
You have to put up your hands, or maybe someone holds them behind you, and you have to take it in the stomach for 16 seconds.
Is it like 3 dudes wailing on you for as hard as they can for 16 seconds?
Sometimes it's 2, 3. It depends. Sometimes it's just 1. It all depends. I've seen 2. I've seen 3.
You could break a couple ribs pretty easy like that.
No, well, yeah, most people, yeah. Like me, like.
I mean, no, you trained to fight, so it's different.
So I hit my stomach with a big medicine ball, and so it's like, I've seen people take a 16, and it's like, that's it. Like it doesn't even hurt them.
Right.
And yeah, some people, it really hurts them. Some people, do break ribs with the discipline. But
so, I remember having interesting conversation I want to have with you since you've done that kind of time. Let's talk a little bit about like shot callers and that kind of stuff. It goes back to the conversation we were having, right? Like there's a lot of people who think, oh, shot callers, they're like this big guy, and like, but a lot of times they use that as kind of like, they're not who you think they are,
So with the shot callers, the rep, whatever, each group is a little different. How like with us, we vote, the whole dorm
votes
or section votes to see like
okay.
who, like, do they want this guy or this guy? And then with us, like if we don't like a rep, if we vote one in and we think that they're messing up, if they're taking advantage, abusing their power, then we'll vote for another one. And we've actually done that. I've seen it a few times. Like someone makes a bad call, is playing favorites with his friends, just wants to punish everyone. So, you know what? Nah, this ain't what being a rep is about. You're supposed to help fix our problems, solve problems between us and between other, races, other groups. You're not like better than us. You're just, you're our speaker. That's what it's supposed to be. But, some people that it gets to their head, they want to just give disciplines and, we had one rep. We had one rep that he told us that if I guess some, two dudes got caught in the shower messing around, and I guess that was a problem out, at the low security. But he said that if we ever catch anyone doing that we have to just take off on them. No questions asked. If we see it, we got to just, throw hands on both of them. What happened with him is he was doing that himself, but he told us, he told us that we should, it's like, man, what a POS. Yeah. And he tried to take, so you have the reps of each section, each unit, or each floor, whatever type your prison is. But then you'll have each rep in each section, and then they decide who the one is over all of them, or who the yard one is, who solves problems in the yard. So he wanted to be the yardero, the yard rep, in charge of everyone, whatever. He wanted to take it by force, which that ain't how we work. Right. We vote. And he ended up pulling a little shank on the rep. So then they sent 3 dudes to go jump him and remove him from the yard. Right. And so that's what they did. But it's he was a POS. And even after being caught, messing around with dudes, I don't know why he was still rep of his, his section or whatever. And he tried to take the keys by force. Nah, man, it ended up bad for him. They beat him up and he went to a different yard.
That's another thing I remember you saying, there's a lot of guys in positions of power that are kind of into that kind of shit.
Yeah, I had one dude, he wanted to give me a discipline because there's this dude, he was gay, but you can't be open about that. People that are, he gives massages to people. He's a masseuse. So people just, they work out a lot. They want a massage.
Physical therapy or whatever.
Yeah. I'm not going to let some dude give me a massage, that's just me. It ain't gay. I'm not saying it is or nothing, but I am not going to let a dude give me a massage. But he was giving someone a massage one day, and there's this one kid we always make fun of, and he's kind of looking, and I made a comment, a joke, saying that, oh yeah, watch out for him. He's going to, he's getting excited watching you massage people. And the dude, the gay dude that was giving the massage, he got mad. He got mad, and he goes and tells the rep that I was making fun of him, and it was a joke. Everyone laughed, and so the rep tried to give me a discipline. It's you ain't giving me no discipline. I didn't do nothing wrong. And he's most people like me because he was a POS. No one liked him anyways. He shouldn't have been rep. So he goes and tells the other reps. He's yeah, I want to give him a discipline for this, for him making fun of this dude. It's you can't discipline him for that. And so we ended up voting him out. We ended up voting him off, and he wasn't the rep no more. But he was such a coward. We're in a low security. It ain't no tough, it ain't politics, but he was such a coward. He went and made himself a shank and hit a, just because that's how people are. They'll use weapons because they don't know how to fight. They're weak, they're insecure, and they will use weapons because they know they're gonna get beat up if they try anything. But yeah, I can't stand people like that. But he didn't last long.
That was all at Terminal Island?
That was at Lompoc.
That was at Lompoc. Okay.
Yeah, that was all at Lompoc.
So how long are you at Lompoc for?
3 years.
Okay. And then how come you end up going to Terminal Island?
So I was in Lompoc for 3 years, low security. I stayed out of trouble. I didn't get caught doing nothing. And I went to a camp, Englewood camp.
Oh, okay.
I went to the minimum security camp.
Is that where you started doing the social media?
Yeah, that's where I started doing TikTok.
Okay.
Was on when I was at the camp. And, people just want to see, I can't stand prison stuff. I can't stand prison politics. I can't stand people, the mentality, how people think, the whole culture. But I posted a video I get 23,000 views off my first video. It's like, what the hell? Like, people want to see this trash. So I just played into it, and I started, making videos and talking about prison, telling people the truth, straight up the truth, like what I see. Like, I don't sit there and exaggerate. I don't make up stories. Everything you see on my page, it's all straight up like truth and what I've seen. And, but like, people wanted to see it, and, I get 20,000 views, 10,000 views, 50,000 views. Like, what the hell? Like, all right, I'll let people know about prison, but I'm telling the truth. Cause I was watching other people that were doing it, and I see they have millions of followers, and what the hell? People actually want to see this? Like, but my problem was I could see that these people weren't genuine. They weren't telling the truth. Like, they're like exaggerating. And not only that, but however it is at one prison, it ain't like that at every prison. Right. So it's like, okay, it might be there where you're at, but it wasn't like that where I'm at. And, I think people just ain't genuine. I think people exaggerate. Well, they do exaggerate, and they do like want you to think that it's something that it isn't. Like, they glorify it as well. So it's like, I'm gonna just put the truth out there. Right. People want to believe it, whatever, not, the real people will know that I'm telling the truth.
So tell me a little bit about the camp. You told me, I heard a little bit about it already, but that it seemed like an even better camp, because camps are known for being wide open, but the one you were at was pretty like super wide open.
Yeah, I was in Englewood, Colorado, and we had everything we wanted. Anything. Someone had a Xbox, I think. It was an Xbox. An
Xbox?
Yeah, they had an Xbox.
In prison?
Yeah, they snuck into their cell.
That's crazy.
With the TV, they snuck in there. They kept it under the bed. We'd always have fast food. We'd sneak in fast food. Someone ordered a pizza. People would sneak out every day, meet up with their girlfriends or wives, and women that take money for it. Yeah, that was a good place, Englewood, Colorado. We had everything we wanted. People bring in like, dumb people, like so damn dumb. Like, they'd bring in like ounces of product. And it's like, you guys didn't learn your lesson.
Yeah, seriously.
And it's like, what's funny about that too is they'll sit there and use all day, relapse, whatever you want to call it, and they think that whoever else is using with them isn't a snitch or isn't going to tell. Like, they'll think, oh yeah, he's cool, he's using. Like, oh yeah, he's cool. It's like, and they always tell on each other,
Never fails. Yep.
It's like, I've learned, like, from my whole court case, never trust an active addict, ever, because they will tell on you. Come on, they steal from their grandma. They steal from, like, they'd rather use than feed their kid, and they're not going to tell on you. Man, come on, don't trust these people. They'll always tell on you. But that's what they're doing at the camp. Like, they'd sit there and use with other people and think that they just trust them and cool. And I didn't like to politic. I only looked up people's paperwork when I didn't like them. Like, right. When they had an attitude or they thought there's something, like, oh, okay. I go back on my cell phone. I look them up, look up their case. Oh, how come you didn't get 20 years? Or how come you told on so-and-so? They just keep their mouth shut after that. They wouldn't say nothing to me. Oh, you worked for Border Control, but you're running with the Paisas? Okay. And so
you ran into a guy that was Border Patrol, and then he ran with the Paisas on the inside?
Yep, he was running with the Paisas. He was Border Control. He was Hispanic, but
that's why. That's crazy.
Like, I didn't say nothing. Like, I don't know. I probably should have. But it's like, I didn't like him. I didn't like the way he was acting. And, I knew something was funny about him, so I checked. So I didn't deal with him.
What was he in there for?
Receiving bribes at the border.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But, like, apart from that, like, I only looked people up if
you didn't like them.
Yeah, if I didn't like them, if they had, like, because I don't care what someone's in there for. I don't care if someone's snitching. Like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not going to do no business with these people. Right. I'm not going to do any business. But if I was, I definitely wouldn't with these people. But like, I just don't care about none of that nonsense. Like, this person's snitch, this person, like, okay, like, I'm out of the crime life. I'm out of that life. Like, I don't care.
Right. There was which facility was it that you told me where it was like, you encountered a lot of people that were like getting friendly with chomos and that kind of stuff? Was that
Lompoc? That's every low security prison. Okay. Lompoc, Terminal Island.
Where was it that you that had the Chomo store, man, and all that? Which facility was that in?
That was in Lompoc, California. So I would see people doing business with the Chomos, like going to their store, buying stuff, paying them back, treating them like they're normal. Some people would even give money to a Chomo, like let them open up a store, and they'd have the Chomo run their business, their prison store, and they'd take the money from them. It's like, man, what is going on? Like, you guys are like, I'm no hardcore like badass like hardcore convict, but I'm not going to do no business with no Chomo.
Right.
Like, this is how you do business with Chomo. So I heard someone was, I heard there's a Chomo in B unit that had a store. His name was like Dove or something. The Chomo's name was like Dove. I don't know if that was his last name or a nickname. I was like, all right. So I go there, I buy something from him, pay him back, buy something else, pay him back. Building up this credit with him, so he thinks that I'm good for my money. So now that I have this, this trust with him, I invite a couple of friends, and we take everything. We take all of his sodas. We like everything he has in his locker. Completely took everything. And the way a store works is, you take whatever during the week. The next week you pay him back with commissary, or send him money with whatever, Cash App, whatever, because we got cell phones. Come like Monday, he sees me after commissary. He's like, hey, do you got that list I made for you? I was like, what list? He's like, the list for all the commissary you took. I was like, I don't know what are you talking about? He's like he looked all sad, and he's like, don't you have the list? Like, everything that I lent to you? I was like, man, like, get away from, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, get the hell away from me. Looked all sad, put his head down, and walked away. Like, that's how you deal with Chomos. You don't do business with them. Like, make them regret their time. Make them regret what they did. Like, don't sit there and act like they're people. They're not people. Come on, victimizing children. And you guys want to do business. You guys want to be Chomo sympathizers and, treat them like they're human. No, they're not.
I couldn't agree more.
But
so you're at the camp. It's playing Xbox and eating McDonald's. It sounds like it's fun.
Burger King, burritos from like Beto's, Alberto's, whatever, and like, man,
you said there
nice.
Is it true your prison camp was like had a balcony and was like next to a golf course?
Yeah. It was right next to a golf course. No fence. Big old balcony in the back. I'd watch the sunrise, sunset. Drink my coffee, read books.
It sounds like a fucking...
Yeah, it was nice. Carpet in our rooms.
Carpet, huh?
We had our own it was like a cheap motel room each cell, but it had bunk beds. Okay. But it was nice. Shower, everything.
So you start going on TikTok, start posting videos, doing lives, that kind of thing?
Yeah, go live every day. But what happened was someone started screenshotting, screen recording me going live, all my videos. They put them on a Facebook page for the correction officers. So then the lieutenant at the prison, he's seen. So he came in the next day, handcuffed me, took me to the SHU, and they wrote me up for a cell phone. Mm. And, they show me when I go to you have a little hearing in the SHU if you're guilty or not.
Right.
The lady, the correction officer doing my hearing, showed me pictures of me being on TikTok. Like, well, this is you. It's evidence you had a cell phone. You were in possession of a cell phone, so you're guilty. All right, I'm guilty.
Did they ship you to Olo?
And they shipped me to Terminal Island.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I had to finish my time.
Okay. All right. And when did you get out?
I got out, so technically July 2023, I got out of prison, but I had to go to the halfway house, ankle monitor. They gave me 7 months of halfway house, ankle monitor. And then after ankle monitor, I was put on probation.
Okay. And you've been on probation a couple of years?
Since February of, was it 24? February 24.
Here we are.
Yeah, now, I got a job. I got out, though. This is the thing is, prison doesn't rehabilitate you. Like, they have nothing. Federal prison offers you nothing to make it when you get out of prison. Yeah. Nothing. even like the college, if you want to take correspondence classes, like it's so hard. Like they don't want to proctor your test so that you can't pass, and all like everything that I've seen, every prison I've been in, like these VT programs, welding, it's all bullshit. It doesn't help anybody. You're sitting in the classroom for 6 weeks. You read out of a book. Your last day, they let you try to do a little stick weld. Your last day, so you do it once. That doesn't teach no one how to weld.
Right.
And so I get out of prison, no college, no trades, no skills, nothing. But luckily I was in the halfway house. They helped me get a job. I found a job installing gas lines, construction. And I was able to get up on my feet, get a car, apartment. This is having no education, nothing. And, I pay all my bills and save up. So, it's good for now.
I've noticed that there's actually not that many of us that make it out in one piece and kind of rebuild a life,
Get out of prison?
Yeah, like there's not a whole lot of us that get out and rebuild a life, They're like the recidivism rate is through the roof, and it's...
Yeah, but a lot of it is because, you know what? People say they're institutionalized. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is the person.
I agree. You have to put forth from your part, and you have to want to change and live a different life. But I also think that society They don't help.
Oh yeah, they don't help. Prison doesn't help. They focus on punishment and profit.
Right.
They don't focus on rehabilitation, which
Right.
most people are in prison because they're addicts, or they came out of poverty,
Right.
and they're trying to get out. They're trying to make some money, so
That's all they know.
they commit crime. Yeah. So, but this is the thing: is no matter where you come from, like you have to just accept that no one's going to help you. And if you want to have a good life, if you want to, make it out, you have to do it all by yourself. Just
100%.
accept that. No one's going to come save you.
100%.
No miracle is going to come into your life and save you. If it does, that's just very, very rare that a miracle happens and you're saved. Like, you have to save yourself. You have to help yourself. You have to get out of your comfort zone and do something that, you don't feel comfortable with. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll feel.
Right.
And you'd have success. But, this is the thing people don't understand. They want just it all be done for them. They want to sit there and play a victim. Like, the hell with all that nonsense. Like, get out of your comfort zone and make something of yourself.
Yeah, it's hard enough to stay positive on your own, and we have enough obstacles. There's no way for a group of guys to come around and be bitching and whining and moaning about how no one gives them an opportunity.
Yeah.
So I get it. Yo, Kidnap, this was great. This was dope. We've been taping for 2 hours. I think we could tape for another 3.
Yeah.
I usually wrap up asking the same couple of questions. So first question I'll ask is what's next for you? What do you got going on?
I'm trying to get off probation. And
we can help you with that.
And then, yeah, I know. I should have hit you guys up sooner. I'm going to do clothing with a logo, slogan,
Dope.
hats, T-shirts, something positive.
You have a cool name, man. How'd you come up with it?
Just in prison, we're talking how they came and arrested us, raided us. They held me captive for 7 years against my will.
Right.
They came in the middle of the night, held weapons to my head. They kidnapped me. That's what they did.
Kidnapped by the feds.
Yeah, I was guilty. And, this is the thing, though. I went to prison because I chose to do what I knew what was wrong. Like, I have no one else to blame but myself.
Agreed.
But, the name's kind of like a joke. It's real, but it's a joke.
Kidnapped by the feds. I love the name, man. It's funny, but it's cool, how do you want to be remembered?
How do I want to be remembered? I don't care if I'm remembered. I want to live a good life the way I want to, with good people around me, and leave something good for my son and, my family. But how remembered, I don't give a fuck.
Do you believe in redemption?
Do I believe in redemption? So what do you mean by redemption?
Do you believe most of us can be make amends, correct the mistakes we've made, and be better?
I think anyone and everyone can become a better person and move on from their past mistakes, for sure.
You believe everybody deserves a second chance?
No. Chomos don't deserve a second chance.
I agree completely. I agree. There are certain points of no return.
I think most people deserve a second chance, but this is the thing is, with second chances, no one is going to, almost no one is going to give you a second chance. So you got to just accept that and give yourself a chance.
Right. Do you believe you've redeemed yourself? You've come back?
I don't know if I understand redemption or redeem myself. Like I was a good person. I made mistakes and I was becoming worse and worse, but now like I am a good person again. I'm never going back to the lifestyle. And, I guess, depends on what you think about redemption. Like I've definitely become a better person. It made me stronger, wiser. So I guess, in a way I've redeemed myself.
Appreciate you coming on, brother. So how can people connect with you?
Kidnapped by the Feds on social media. I'm on everything.
Dope. Instagram, TikTok.
TikTok. I'll start doing YouTube and everything else, but Instagram and TikTok, Kidnapped by the Feds.
Sweet. All right, brother. I appreciate you coming on.
All right. Thank you.
All righty, guys. That was another episode of Honor Among Thieves with a special guest, Kidnapped by the Feds. As always, push it to the limit. The world is yours. If you're not chasing a dream, life is meaningless, guys. Catch you on the next one. Say goodnight to the bad guy.
FBI, open up!
The FBI swarming a Miami house and taking a man into custody in the area of Southwest.
So say goodnight to the bad guy.
The agency says the 28-year-old was picked up at a